Could it be real this time?
After years of speculation, one of C-drama's most beloved on-screen couples has been spotted together again. But are we witnessing a real-life romance? Or just another expertly timed moment that's got the internet dreaming?
Let's break it all down.
It began with a simple moment, quiet, almost unnoticeable, yet powerful enough to ignite waves of speculation across continents. Yang Zi and Xian, two of China's most adored stars, were seen together again, not on screen this time, but in real life. Their appearance wasn't accompanied by grand declarations or carefully orchestrated photo ops. Instead, it was marked by something far more intimate: the way they looked at each other, the subtle ease in their smiles, and the unspoken familiarity that hung in the air between them. To the casual observer, it may have seemed like nothing. But to those who have followed their journey, from their first spark in Go Go Squid to every quiet rumor since, this was a moment layered with meaning. There was a softness in their exchange that felt unscripted, a quiet comfort that suggested a connection not bound by character or scene. Across social media platforms, from Seoul to Paris, fans began to piece together the puzzle. Some noticed how they mirrored each other's body language. Others pointed out how natural it felt to see them side by side again, as if no time had passed. For many, it wasn't about drama or scandal. It was about witnessing something genuine in an industry built on appearances. This one sighting, brief as it was, stirred something deeper. It reminded people of the kind of chemistry that doesn't fade with time or distance. Whether friendship or something more, their presence together evoked a feeling that's hard to fake. In a world hungry for authenticity, Yang Zi and Xian gave audiences a rare glimpse into something beautifully human, and that was more than enough to start a storm. What if that brief encounter between Yang Zi and Xian wasn't just a fleeting coincidence, but a window into something much more layered, something that has quietly endured through time? For years, fans have speculated, hoped, and held onto every subtle interaction, every knowing glance, every shared silence between these two stars, not simply because of who they are on screen, but because of what they seem to represent off it. When people revisit their interviews, they aren't just watching for answers. They're searching for truth hidden in tone, in hesitation, in a half-smile that says more than words ever could. Some moments, though small, carry a weight that lingers. A quick eye contact. A slightly nervous laugh. The way they instinctively lean toward each other when the cameras aren't supposed to be watching. To many, these are not just habits born from past collaboration. They feel like instinct, like two people who understand each other in a way that doesn't need explaining. In an industry where so much is scripted, where relationships are manufactured and often temporary, the bond between Yang Zi and Xian feels startlingly unrehearsed. What deepens the intrigue is how they've continued to support one another's work, even after all the public denials. If there was truly nothing between them, why does their energy remain unchanged? Why do their brief reunions still spark such undeniable warmth? Perhaps the answer lies not in bold confessions or grand gestures, but in the quiet continuity of connection. Sometimes love, real or potential, doesn't arrive loudly. It lingers quietly in the background, revealing itself not through announcements, but through the consistent, gentle presence of someone who has always been there. And perhaps that's what makes their story so compelling. Not the drama, but the possibility. Long before the recent headlines and social media storms, Yang Zi and Xian were simply two young actors sharing a screen and a story. But what many now see as fleeting chemistry may have actually been the beginning of something far more enduring, something that has quietly matured behind the spotlight, far from the noise of the public eye. Their connection dates back to 2019, when they starred together in Go Go Squid, a drama that left an unforgettable mark on viewers across Asia and beyond. But it wasn't just the script that drew people in, it was the way they looked at each other, listened, reacted, and existed in the same space as if it were the most natural thing in the world. That level of ease doesn't come from rehearsal. It's built, slowly, through trust, respect, and time. Behind the scenes, their warmth seemed to carry into real life. Fans have seen clips of Xian gently brushing hair from Yang Zi's face, or the two sharing quiet jokes between takes. Over the years, even when working on separate projects, they've been spotted supporting each other, at premieres, in interviews, through subtle mentions that never feel like promotion, but rather like appreciation. What stands out isn't just their past, it's the consistency. In an industry where collaborations come and go, and where relationships often vanish with the final credits, there seems to remain. Unspoken, perhaps, but intact. Some connections don't need to be declared. They just persist, through changing seasons, shifting roles, and the heavy expectations of fame. For Yang Zi and Li Xian, it seems that even when the lights go down and the cameras stop rolling, a quiet bond remains, steady and sincere. And maybe that's where the real story lives, not in the spotlight, but behind it. In the entertainment world, where perception often matters more than truth, an official denial can sometimes speak louder than silence. When Yang Zi and Li Xian's team swiftly shut down the growing whispers about their possible romance, the response was immediate, and almost too perfect. Clear-cut, carefully worded, strategically timed. To many fans, it didn't settle the story.
It steered a deeper question. Why the rush?
Instead of closing the chapter, the denials only fanned the flames. In a culture where celebrity relationships are often kept hidden to protect careers, fans have grown cautious. They know that nothing is going on doesn't always mean nothing ever was. The timing, the language, the tone, everything about the statements felt rehearsed, lacking the rawness that often accompanies real emotion. Some viewers pointed to Li Xian's response in particular, measured, but perhaps too guarded. There was a sense of effort, as if he was trying not only to reassure the public, but also to distance himself from something deeper. Was it professionalism? Or was it the quiet burden of protecting something personal? In an industry where image is currency, denying a relationship isn't always about truth, it's about control. It's about maintaining balance in a world where one confirmed romance can shift fandoms, brand deals, and public sentiment. And yet, despite the firm denials, Yang Zi and Li Xian's energy remains unchanged. They still support each other, still appear side by side with a comfort that words cannot explain. Sometimes, it's not the denial that feels suspicious, it's the need for one at all. In their attempt to put rumors to rest, they may have unintentionally revealed something more, that what exists between them is worth protecting, even if it must be denied. And perhaps in that denial lies the quietest kind of truth. There are some connections that quietly unfold, not in dramatic declarations or grand gestures, but in the gentle rhythm of time and presence. As Yang Zi and Li Xian continue to cross paths, on screen, backstage, in the quiet corners of public life, one can't help but wonder, is the world quietly witnessing a love story being written in real time? What makes their bond so captivating isn't just their chemistry, though that is undeniable. It's the way their connection defies borders. From Seoul to Paris, from New York to Bangkok, fans from all walks of life have found themselves drawn to their story, not because it's loud or confirmed, but because it feels real. In a time when public figures often craft relationships for the spotlight, Yang Zi and Li Xian's moments feel unscripted, private, and strangely familiar. Maybe it's the way they look at each other without needing to speak. Or the comfort they radiate when standing side by side, even in silence. Maybe it's the patience in their journey, no rushed declarations, no forced narratives, just the steady presence of two people who, again and again, find their way back to each other. It's easy to dismiss this as fantasy, to chalk it up to overzealous fans reading between the lines. But love, as it often does, thrives in ambiguity. It doesn't always come with confirmation. It's felt in gestures, in timing, in choice. If this truly is a love story in the making, it's one that transcends language and culture. It's a narrative that belongs not only to China but to everyone who has ever believed in something tender, unspoken, and unfolding slowly. The world doesn't need a headline to feel it. Sometimes, the most beautiful stories are the ones that are still being written. Time has a way of revealing truth, not all at once, but in quiet moments that slowly come into focus. As new clues continue to surface about Yang Zi and Li Xian's connection, fans aren't just speculating anymore. They're seeing patterns, feeling a shift, and beginning to look at the story through a deeper, more nuanced lens. Recent public sightings have reignited the conversation, but it's not just about being in the same place at the same time. It's the softness in their eyes when they glance at each other, the ease with which they interact when no one's watching, or supposed to be watching. It's the small things, a familiar gesture, an inside joke, a matching accessory that fans notice not because it's obvious, but because it fits into a quiet history. Beyond the usual comparisons and theories, what's emerging now is a broader understanding of who they are, not just as individuals, but as two people who might be moving through life with an unspoken bond. Maybe it's not about proving a relationship, but about recognizing a rare emotional compatibility that seems to resist time and distance. And perhaps what's most compelling is that the more they deny, the more believable the connection becomes. Because real affection, the kind that doesn't need to perform for the public, often hides in plain sight. It doesn't demand attention, It simply exists. Fans no longer seem to be asking, are they together? Instead, the question has become, how long has this been going on? That shift in perspective speaks volumes. New clues no longer spark idle gossip. They stir something more honest, hope. The kind of hope that perhaps behind the rehearsed statements and carefully managed appearances, a real love story is unfolding, quietly, patiently, and entirely on its own terms. After everything, the sightings, the denials, the chemistry, the clues, we're left with a story that refuses to fade. Maybe it's not about confirming or denying. Maybe the beauty of their bond lies in the mystery, in the what-if that keeps millions watching. But one thing's for sure, whenever Xian and Xian appear together, the world pays attention. If you felt even a spark of curiosity or emotion during this video, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another update from the world of Asian entertainment.
Bull, what do you think?
Are Xian and Xian hiding a secret love? Or are we all just hopeless romantics? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We read every one. Folded hands, thanks for being here. Your support helps us bring more stories, insights, and truths behind the headlines. Movie Camera, see you in the next video.